What's up, guys? Jay Jones, BJJ Nutrition, Talk to Fight Nutrition. What are we talking about today? Controversial topic. I brought it up last week on my Instagram. First off, thank you for everybody that responded, gave me a little bit of feedback, told me where your stance was on that. I appreciate it. It helps me make these videos for everybody. So please keep that up. So moving on, talking about fitness and martial arts. I feel I'm qualified to talk about this. I've been living in both worlds for almost 20 years now. I've owned a CrossFit gym for 11 years. I've been training jiu-jitsu for 18 years, first degree black belt, and I've been training people in the fitness world since I was like 18 years old. So I hope that gives me just enough background to have something in this topic right here. And here's the thing, guys, is it always breaks my heart to see that these two worlds don't agree with each other when they totally should agree with each other. We're very like-minded people that just want to progress and make ourselves better and challenge ourselves and just every day create better versions of ourselves. And man, the two things work together. Let me tell you, martial arts and fitness, they can work together and they can balance with each other. And if you want to take your jiu-jitsu to a high level, you have to have your fitness in check. And so that's what we're going to talk about. First, it's the name. So jiu-jitsu's gotten really popular in like the last 2 or 3 years, and there's a lot of new white belts out there, right? And we're going to talk about you guys. That's who I'm here for, is you guys right there. So blankety blank blank Brazilian jiu-jitsu and fitness. Blankety blank blank martial arts and fitness. Every time, every gym I've ever been a part of, that's been the name, right? We're talking 5-6 gyms at this point over a span of, like I said, 20 years almost, always has fitness in the name. Only one of those gyms do I believe actually had something that fell into a fitness category. It was fitness kickboxing and a fight conditioning class, which is basically like a interval circus style class, right? Everything else, just martial arts, right? Now, so let's just talk about jiu-jitsu, right? Because that's the martial art I'm most involved in currently. That's the world I kind of live in. So Brazilian jiu-jitsu, is it fitness? I don't know, right? Let me give an example. In all this time that I've done jiu-jitsu, I know 5 people that have lost 100 pounds in about a year from just doing jiu-jitsu. They made easy, small changes to their nutrition, less hamburgers, more salads, no Cokes, right? Less sugar, and just bust your ass at jiu-jitsu, go to practice, go to rounds, go to training, go to seminars, go every time, go to open gym, and you're gonna lose weight. That's just the way it works, right? So, is that fitness? Well, that person is most definitely fitter, and they're most definitely a healthier version of themselves. I don't think one of those persons still does jiu-jitsu. So, and I don't know because I don't keep up with those people once they kind of leave, but I would imagine they've probably gained all that weight back. So there's a downside. So maybe they aren't fitter, right? Now, what about somebody who doesn't lose 100 pounds? What about somebody that needs to lose about 30 pounds? We're a year and a half in, and they've lost 20 to 25 pounds. They're probably not taking their diet super serious, but they're definitely a healthier version of themselves than they were before they started jiu-jitsu. What's the natural next progression? After a year and a half, you get promoted to blue belt if you've been consistent, somewhere around there. And okay, let's try this competition thing. That seems really fun. And you go into competition. This is a whole new world. This is where I believe if you put fitness in your name, you have a responsibility, especially for somebody wanting to compete or just going to the classes with the hard rounds, the competition style classes as well, okay? Now, because usually these are grown adults, you're right? 27 to 45 years old is like the growing group of people doing jiu-jitsu. Like I said, all you new white belts out there, under 2 years of experience, this is for you guys, right? So you've lost a little bit of weight, you have this new body, you're trying to figure out the balance of it. In the process of just doing jiu-jitsu, you never really learned how to squat. And let's just say you didn't do these things prior either. You haven't worked out 7, 8, 9 years before you started jiu-jitsu, right? And you never learned how to squat, so you have bad ankle, knee, and hip flexion. You never press things overhead, do full range of motion, push-ups or anything, so your elbows don't lock out. That's not gonna be good for an arm bar. You don't have, any shoulder range of motion over your head, so obviously that's just an injury waiting to happen. You can't touch your toes because you never worked on your flexibility. Obviously that's gonna slow you down in any kind of guard game or getting up off the ground. You don't practice getting up or getting up off the ground. All these basic things that you should be doing, basic hinging, deadlifts, kettlebell swings, stuff like that, you're not accomplishing. And those are basic moves. Those are called GPP moves, general physical preparedness for life, right? Life is happening when you're doing jiu-jitsu. It's something you can't control. It's got opposing forces against you that you need to learn how to plant base with force production and be able to move in time and space. And if you don't know those basics, you're just an injury waiting to happen, number one. Well, what happens to the blue belt that gets injured, takes a year off? He never quite comes back, right? Especially if you're already past 30 years old. You're like, hey, I had to take off work, had to get a surgery, like my wife's mad at me, like not cool, right? So boom, you're not gonna continue. Therefore, jiu-jitsu failed them because they didn't have a basic of fitness, right? What about just not ever getting any better, right? Like, if you never get those basics that I listed, ankle, knee, and hip flexion, posterior chain engagement, anterior chain engagement, basic strength, then any move that uses those, you can never learn, right? You'll never get better at your leg drag. You'll never get better at your back take. You'll never get better at your technical get up because it'll always be equal to what your fitness is. And just because you train harder and get better cardiovascularly, if that's the right word, if you get better cardio and you move faster in jiu-jitsu, it doesn't matter if you don't have basics and you're just waiting to get hurt. And I believe that's why the blue belts usually drop off. More people quit at blue belt than any other belt. We know this. And this is basically why I created Eat to Fight Nutrition. I believe, like I said, that if you put fitness in your name, you should have a responsibility to teach people fitness. And it could be a fitness class that's offered, and then it's up to the athlete if they want to do it. Or it could just be a mindset in the way that you do your training, the way that you do your warm-ups, the way that you could incorporate basic movement into everything that you do while training. I think that would work as well. But that's the conversation that the athlete and the coach or the athlete and the professor or the owner or whatever need to happen. And you know what? If not, I am here for you guys. That's what Eat to Fight Nutrition is for. I want to teach you the basics. If you haven't joined my Facebook group, I have lots of guides, a mobility guide, I have a squat guide. I'm working on more things, a pressing guide that's going to be coming out in the future. I've got how to calculate your macros and build a diet specifically for your training based around your training. I've got all the information out there free, and I'm going to continue to put it out there for free, guys. Of course, if you need help, you can always hit me up. But man, it's for you guys. That's what I think. If you're going to compete or take jiu-jitsu serious and try to benefit from this amazing sport that can give you so much, then you need to keep yourself healthy. You need to take care of yourself with fitness so that you don't get hurt and you can do it for the long run, right? And man, I'm here to help. All right, Eat to Fight. Later.